And this is the meeting of Ventura County Animal Services Commission. So the first order of business here is a roll call.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chair
And
Ramirez, Carmen Ramirez,
Yes.
John
Here.
Zaragoza,
Here.
Susan Santangelo,
Here.
Stephen Gama,
Here.
Dee Dee Kavanaugh,
Here.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Here.
Diane McCall,
Here.
Chris Enegren,
Here.
Souza Francina. Chair Ramirez, we're ready.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Now the next item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm going to do something unusual. I like to do a little unusual. I like to ask Officer Amon to lead us in the pledge. Sorry if I'm taking you by surprise. Are you able to do that for us? Mark Amon from the City of Oxnard.
I'm here. Hang on 1 second.
Councilmember Francina,
Is she there?
why don't you, I'm going to have you call the man, the animal services guy that,
Mark, Officer Amon, could you lead us in the pledge? Please stand. Amon.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for us.
Thank you very much. And sorry for taking you by surprise, Officer. You performed admirably. Thank you very much. So did Susie get on? Did I hear that? No. Okay. Susan, we're missing you.
this is Andrea from City of Ojai. She is trying to get on. She's going to call you, Randy. She said they're asking for a username and password that she doesn't know what that would be.
Okay.
Understood.
Randy will take care of that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item is review and reordering of the agenda. And I'd like to know if anybody would like to do that. Any of the commissioners? I'm not hearing anything. Let's go then. So the agenda stays as it is. I don't believe we need a motion on that. The next item is the consent calendar. So the there's only the items of the minutes of November 18th.
I'll move the approval.
I'll second.
That was Commissioner Santangelo. Who was the second?
Diane McCall.
Thank you, Ms. McCall. So let's vote. I think we need,
Ramirez,
yes.
John Zaragoza,
Yes.
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Stephen Gama,
Yes.
Dee Dee Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren,
Yes.
and Souza Francina.
Okay, hopefully she'll get on soon. The next item is presentations, proclamations, and commendations. Do we have any of those?
No, Chairman Ramirez, we do not.
The only thing I'll add is just informally is congratulate Mr. Friedman and the commission for the fantastic Betty White fundraiser that we had. And will we get some details, Ms. Rosen? Okay, that was fabulous and wonderful. Let's do it again sometime. Now we come to the item of public comments. And again, this is when we do public comments. We don't have public comments. This commission during the meeting, this is the time to speak on items not on the agenda. And so I am going to see if we do have any members of the public who wish to speak. I believe we do. Mr. Friedman is.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chair Ramirez, members of the public. If you would like to be added to the public comment queue for non-agenda items, please connect now via Zoom. If you are not already connected and wish to make a public comment, please visit vcas.us/ VCAS-commission and complete the registration form by clicking on the blue registration button. You will receive a Zoom login credentials for this meeting. If you are using a phone number provided in the Zoom credentials, please press *9 to be added to the speaker queue, and you will then press *6 on your telephone keypad to unmute yourself. Our first speaker today is Susan Santamaria. I am going to let her in right now.
And she has 5 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Thank you. 3 minutes, Miss Santamaria.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, all. The thing I would like to address, besides the email, is the fact that we don't have a volunteer coordinator. And I do know that there were a few applicants. I wanted to suggest, since we've been so long without one, why not take each person and give them like 3 months or so to prove what they can do as a volunteer coordinator. This would give everyone an opportunity, and we can all see what they can do, what they can bring to the table to bring someone into this position that we need so desperately. And then take a poll of the volunteers before you make a final decision to see exactly what's going on, because you're going to see one side, we're going to see one side. And this way we can combine them all and maybe have you make a better selection of who would better fit into this position. But it is desperately needed. We've been without one for so long. So it's just a suggestion. I just thought about it. I thought, well, maybe we should just give them each a chance, almost like an internship, to see what they can do. And let's do things that way. And maybe we can come to a good decision on who to fill the position. Does that seem reasonable to everyone?
Thank you, Miss Santamaria. We are not supposed to engage with people.
Okay.
We've heard
Okay.
you. We've heard you.
Well,
Thank you
it
so
was
much.
just a suggestion. I hope you all take it to heart. I hope you all read the email and take that to heart as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Friedman, do we have other speakers? You're muted.
Sorry about that. There are no additional public speakers.
All right. I know we did receive some comments by email, and everybody should take a look at those. So with that, let's go to business items. Ms. Rose, I'm going to turn this over to you.
All right, good morning, everyone. This business item, the first one is, it is that time of year where we do election of the chair and vice chair positions for the commission. We do this under our bylaws in February. And so we'd like to open this up. Chair Ramirez right now is our current chair for this, and Francine Souza is the vice chair currently, and those positions are up for re-election at this time. So I assume we should probably look for a nomination. We'll start with chair and then go to the vice chair position. So I would ask if there are any nominations for the chair position for this upcoming year for the commission.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Zaragoza.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would like to renominate Supervisor Carmen Ramirez as chair of the board for this committee.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I do appreciate that. Would like to ask Ms. Rose, is there some limitation on me continuing?
No, there's not.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And I'd like to share, that Supervisor Ramirez has been doing a great job, and so that's why I'd like to nominate her again. Thank you so much for that.
Well, you're so kind. I do
Thank
think
you,
this
Chris.
is an important commission, and we have work to do and to keep our animals safe and healthy. So I do like that position. So with that,
If I can just for one moment, Chair, are there any other nominations?
good idea.
Okay, it seems like we have one nomination for the chair position. It has been seconded. I'm not sure who seconded that.
Dee Dee.
Thank you very much. And since I'm kind of running this for you, since it's an awkward place for you to sit as the chair asking for your own piece, so I will ask this piece. Are there, we have a second. Can we have a vote on that?
Yes, that's fine.
Carmen Ramirez,
Yes.
John Zaragoza,
Yes.
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Stephen Gama,
Yes.
Dee Dee McCall. I'm sorry, Dee Dee Kavanaugh.
Yes.
I need more coffee. I apologize. Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren, Souza Francina. Mr. Enegren, I saw you mouth, so
Yes.
we're good.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your confidence. Okay, let's go to the vice chair position. By the way, I've just received an email that went to Randy Friedman about her software. Do you see it there, Mr. Friedman? It's from Souza. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I will try to give her instructions to get her on.
Okay. And okay, now we go to the vice chair position. Souza indicates she would like to be vice chair. So is there?
I'd like to-
Go ahead.
Madam
I'll
Chair,
second.
Okay, was there a nomination of Souza? I kind of did it, and I'll do
You-
that.
You did it, I seconded.
Well, thank you so much, Miss McCall. Love the background. That's for real. Thank you. So are there other nominations? Seeing none, let's go to vote.
Carmen Ramirez,
Yes.
John Zaragoza,
yes.
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Stephen Gama,
Yes.
Dee Dee Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren,
Yes.
Souza Francina.
Okay, thank you. We'll let her know that she's continues to be a vice chair. Thank you, everybody. Let's go on to item B, quarterly resolution regarding AB 361 that allows us to meet remotely during the state of emergency. Ms. Rose?
Yes, thank you. As you may all recall, at the last meeting, we brought forth the first resolution for this. And as we only meet on a quarterly basis, we are able to follow the lead of the county. If the county is continuing to authorize virtual meetings due to COVID and the other issues that we're facing, we follow that for the duration, because AB 361 requires 30-day vote unless you meet less frequently. So we are here again at our quarterly time to vote on passing this resolution. Hopefully, this will be our last. I'm trying to be really optimistic about this, but the county did yesterday move to go for another 30 days by virtual for meetings. So we just need to do the same for this group, and then hopefully on our May meeting, we may be able to meet in person. So we just need a vote for that, to approve that resolution.
Madam Chair, move approval.
Second.
The second was from,
Santangelo.
oh, okay, thank you. All right, let's vote on that unless there's any more comment.
Carmen Ramirez,
Yes.
John Zaragoza,
Yes.
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Steve Gama,
Yes.
Dee Dee Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren,
Yes.
Souza Francina.
Okay, thank you very much. The next item is the item C, revisions, approve revisions to the commission bylaws. And Ms. Rose, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So you may recall that at the November meeting, we presented this. I presented it at that meeting that I had done some revisions. The bylaws had not been reviewed in a very long time. It was really, some of this was cleanup, as well as to add some language to help clarify, adding items to the agenda, as well as distribution of information to all commissioners, and that was the recommendation that came from County Council. So we had presented this last meeting, and the pleasure of the commission was that we bring this back to the February meeting for a final vote and approval, that way giving time for public comment. So I'm bringing this forward again. I'm happy to discuss any of these recommended changes. You have it in your packet again, the memo from November, as well as the red line version. So I'm bringing this forward for approval to amend the bylaws.
Commissioners, comments? Anyone? Did I see a hand go up? Oh,
I did, Carmen.
Commissioner Santangelo.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw this out there. The first change, changing the word policy to executive, should it be advisory?
Ms. Rose?
I mean, that's surely an option. I think, that's, I mean, I leave that to this commission. If you like that term, if you think that that is more appropriately descriptive, I think that that's an option. I think what we were trying to move away from was the policy, because this really does not sit as a policy board, if you will. But advisory absolutely could be equally appropriate.
And
So,
and just so I have mixed feelings about it. I don't think it's a very strong word, and I don't want it to sound like it's taking away some of our ability, to make decisions and have those recommendations, but we truly are an advisory commission.
Right, because am I correct, Ms. Rose, in that the Board of Supervisors sets the policy?
that's correct.
And this commission, I think, does give advice, and we get to hear from the cities through their representatives and others, how they feel things should go, but the Board of Supervisors will set policy.
That is correct.
And approve the budget, et cetera. I think Susan's recommendation is really spot on. Other commissioners? I will note that Ms. Francina has suggested no change at this time during the pandemic. She's strongly opposed. That's her comment that I'm conveying to you. So what's the pleasure of the commission?
Madam Chair, move approval.
With the changes suggested by
Yes.
Ms. Santangelo?
Yes, it is advisory.
A second.
Yes.
And that came, where did the second?
Kavanaugh.
Okay,
Didi.
yes. Ms. Santangelo, did you want to clarify?
I had one more thing.
Yes, okay.
On Article 13, there's a sentence that says no fiscal or policy decisions shall be adopted. Well, if we're not making policy decisions, then we should fix this sentence.
What's your
sorry.
recommendation?
Thank you for catching that. With the red line, that was supposed to be a red line. Thank you for catching that.
Sure.
And with my first, with that change, yes,
And I'll second with the amendments.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Very great. So I think we can vote now.
Carmen Ramirez,
Yes.
John Zaragoza,
Yes,
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Stephen Gama,
Yes.
Didi Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren,
Yes.
Souza Francina. Carmen, I'm sorry, Chair Ramirez,
Yes.
would you like me to take Commissioner Franzina's opposition as a no on the roll call vote?
I don't know what we could do with her not being here, but I think everybody knows she's opposed to it. I've
Okay.
conveyed that. So she didn't vote yes, she didn't vote no. But I don't think
Thank
we
you.
cannot, she can't vote remotely. I'm sorry. Is
Okay, thank you.
that correct, Miss Rose? Would that
That
be
is correct, but it is noted in the minutes.
noted? To give her our regards.
Great.
And I will be talking to her after this meeting. And I want to thank Commissioner Santangelo for your sharp eye as usual. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, so we're going to go on to so quickly, item D, receive
Yes.
update on new animal services shelter.
Yes, and I'm thrilled to be able to continue to talk about this. But before that, I just did want to say I will get those changes made for the bylaws, and then we'll send out a clean copy to everyone within the next couple of days. So you'll have that for your records. New animal shelter. Well, I think you may remember that at the last meeting, CEO Powers was able to join us and shared with this commission the county's position of wanting to help to move this forward. And since that time, I have had numerous conversations with CEO's office as well as the new airport director, Keith Freitas. And I am happy to report that we have come to an agreement that we will be able to remain at our location for an indefinite period of time, forever in time, if you will. And with that approval, we will now start to move forward with looking at construction for the new facility at our current location. You may remember that this all kind of stalled about a year ago when we thought we wouldn't be able to stay there under the previous airport director's master plan thoughts. But Director Freitas has been he has been briefed. He understands what our services are. As a matter of fact, he was there yesterday and did a site visit and I toured him around. He's thrilled to have us remain. And so we are moving forward with that process. The CEO's office will be bringing before the Board of Supervisors at mid-year ask continued approval for funding that had been allocated the previous year to allow us to bring in the architectural firm that we had selected from the RFQ, which is probably now about 12 or 14 months ago. And so that will be going before the Board of Supervisors in mid-March, and we will be reaching out to the firm that we had selected, which I have to tell you, I'm thrilled. We had great applicants through that RFQ process. We had 5 proposals come in. They were all animal shelter design specialists. So we really had a great group to pick from, but we did select the firm that we think is the most well positioned to help us with this. So that is fabulous news. We will be moving this project forward. We don't have an exact timeline at this moment, but I can tell you we are all kind of chomping at the bit and have had internal conversations, and our architects within the county are ready to start having those contacts and discussions with the architectural firm to get them contracted and bring them on as quickly as possible. Our plan with them is for them to come in and help us do the preliminary assessment and schematic design so that we have a better understanding of 2 things. One, what new facility design would look like, along with estimated costs for that. And then the second component to that will be, because we would be doing construction at an existing site, how we would do that type of phased in construction. So those are really the 2 pieces that the firm will be presenting to us as part of this original contract. And then we'll move forward. So hopefully, you know, I don't have timeframes. We all know how things move sometimes. I'm hoping within the next 6 to 9 months, we may be able to come back to this board and be able to say, here's our preliminary information from the architects and have them do a presentation. So very excited. And again, I thank all of you for your continued ongoing support of wanting to help us move this project forward. And once we have some better understanding of the financials, we'll have much greater detailed conversation about this. But we're on the road to starting. So,
Jackie, I
So-
believe, sorry, Steve Gama has his hand up.
hi, Steve. I'm sorry, Commissioner Gama. I see first names and I just go with that.
I'm on my phone, so excuse me. Anyways, so I imagine that we're going on the pod design that we were briefed on about 2 years ago. And my question is, funding and the need for fundraisers, is that still what we're going to rely on in terms of meeting the funding? And then also as public engagement, I think it's really important to engage the public in this wonderful step in developing a new animal shelter. And my hope is that we could start an aggressive social media campaign to get people interested and to get people involved and get people excited about the future of animal services in Ventura County. I certainly am, and I'm super energetic to try and get something going to bring more attention to what we're doing and the great services that we're doing, but more importantly to look towards the future and where we're going, and then also to try to counter the exodus of funds to those national animal organizations and try and come up with a campaign to keep support here locally in Ventura County. So it's more like a comment and a couple questions, and I apologize. I was on the road for the first part of this meeting. It was quite difficult, but anyways, I'll yield.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other commissioners? Comments, questions?
Chair Ramirez, if I could respond to just a
Yes,
couple of those questions. And Commissioner Gama, thank you so much for you're one of the champions of this, and we greatly appreciate it. And yes, agree with you completely. Part of what the architectural contractual services will be working with us to engage the various stakeholders, and there are lots of them. So that is a portion of this. Again, we recognize that this is a very large project. This is not a simple, just a little renovation for one building. This is a huge undertaking, and we will be engaging with the community in various ways. We will be doing various social media programming and campaigns. We will be talking about what kinds of available opportunities there are for some fundraising. Again, I do caution this group, we are not going to raise the funds for this through fundraising. This is going to be an expensive project, but we surely can look to do fundraising to assist and augment with ancillary components. So yes, thank you for all of that. As far as your question regarding the previous pod design, no, actually, that's the exact opposite. That's why we're bringing in this firm. That design, I was not here, and I surely don't want to talk about an architectural firm who's not here to defend, but that design really was not done by shelter design specialists. It had some very pretty components to it, but from a functionality standpoint, really is not what we're seeking. So this architectural firm is going to come in and do a design for us. I don't know what that's going to look like at this moment. That's obviously their area of expertise, which is why we're bringing them in. Will we have one large facility, one large building, multiple components? I don't know. Again, some of that's directly related to a phased-in construction process. So we will see what that looks like after they come in and they do their assessment. Again, we will be engaging and continuing to work with UC Davis Shelter Medicine, the Correct Shelter Medicine Program, who we've contracted with them to help us design from a capacity component. So Dr. Wagner will be again involved in these conversations, because as you said, it's very important for us to not only build for today, but build for what we know will be changes. And then of course, there's always changes that were not fully anticipated, but we want to build a facility that's going to stand for the next 25, 30, 40 years. And be functional. So part of that is also helping to build a facility has enough flexibility in its design to be able to modulate as needed over the years. So lots of discussions. I can tell you, again, I am so thrilled about the firm that we've chosen, and I can't discuss who they are yet, but we will. I have been to several of their designs across the country, and they are, I think, one of the top firms in the United States doing shelter design work across the country. So, and they've done all different kinds of designs at different price points. So they really have the ability to come in and help us individualize what those needed services will be and how to design around it. So I hope that answers some of your questions, Commissioner Gama.
Commissioner McCall has a question.
I do. You know, I completely agree with Commissioner Gama, obviously getting buy-in from people that, you know, are passionate about the services that we provide. It's going to be really important. I mean, if we can get others' input, you know, there's going to be buy-in and there's going to be support, not only for, you know, fundraisers and stakeholders and whatnot, but just people, you know, the people that we serve and, you know, the animal passionate in our community, and we need them. So, you know, getting their comments and getting their feedback really does need to be part of it. And I do appreciate that you're going to great lengths to make sure that that happens. The other thing that I would continue to ask is, as the project moves forward and we have ideas of pricing, we really do keep the cities close. It's going to be really important, you know, certainly for Fillmore, and I'm sure other communities as well, you know, as budgets are tight and things are tightening even further, you know, now with water restrictions and other things that, you know, affect our bottom lines, you know, that we really forecast and give the cities enough time to react to what's in the pipeline. That's going to be really critical. I know certainly for our city it is. So I would just ask that you be sensitive to that and keep that in mind as well.
Absolutely. And I can share with you that we are very aware of that. And that has been ongoing conversation of the importance of doing that, and what we will put a strategy together to make sure that the cities are part of these preliminary. Again, honestly, we're not going to just be able to just move forward without the cities being part of this process. I mean, we see that, we want that. So we will be engaging. Right now, the very first step is just bringing the architects in to help us get a baseline understanding so that we can then start talking about this. And it, you know, there's, as we all know, construction morphs and things get scaled down. We understand that, but to give us, the first part is to design what we need for a comprehensive, progressive animal welfare agency from a footprint, from a construction side. I will tell you, and I will just offer this, that I have done capital campaigns and built several shelters prior to coming here. And I am not of the view that we need to build a Taj Mahal. We need to build a well-built, functional facility that has the durability that we need as a shelter. Shelters are very, very, very hard physical facilities. They take a lot of beating. So we need to make sure we're building with really good durable products, and that we're really focused on infection control. Building a shelter is very much like building a hospital. You have to worry about air exchanges and infection control processes and flow of animals. But the other piece that we really need to focus on this time, that didn't happen when this facility was built in '85, is also the flow of people and how we design a facility that is welcoming to our community and engaging, and gives us the opportunity to do other kinds of creative programming with the community that we really don't have the capacity to do because our facility just won't allow form over function. And so it's really about building a highly functional, durable facility that has flexibility to meet our needs going forward. These are the conversations that we will be having with the architects. Again, because they're design specialists, they're also well engaged and well informed in the animal welfare industry and the movements and the activities that are happening and the projections that we look at as an industry. My one last comment I will just share on that is, one of the things that you constantly will hear as we move through this process is that sheltering is continuing to move more and more into the community and less in a brick and mortar fashion. And so how do we make sure we have the capacity to provide greater supports to our community members so that they can retain their animals and not have to utilize our services. And how do we support them through some direct service? For example, somewhere down the road, we may need to and want to talk about low-cost veterinary care services. We know that's a huge gap for many, many pet owners. So if we're building, are we talking about possibly having a public-facing medical clinic? So there's lots of conversations to be had with that. This will be a very, very long process in that way. We will look at this in every angle that we can. We will definitely be engaging with the cities, and of course we wouldn't be moving forward without any conversations regarding the financial component. Right now we just need to get a general sense. Are we talking about an X $1 million project or a Y $1 million project? And then we'll start having those thoughtful conversations.
Other commissioners, questions, comments? I will say that the concern I have is our proximity to the airport and the noise. I'm hoping that is taken into consideration in the build. It isn't always a problem, but we had some issues during the air show that were brought to our attention. And also, I completely agree with the comments of Commissioner McCall. We really need to have the cities buy-in, because for many cities, it's quite the budgets are tight, and we've had a little bit of a relief with the American Rescue Plan and others, but that's not going to last. So it's very important. I found when I was on Oxnard City Council, really important to engage the public, because it does cost money to take care of animals. It costs a lot of money. And if we want to do it right, it's going to cost the right amount of money. And not everybody thinks it's important, but want to hear those voices knowing it's important to do the right thing here. Other commissioners, any other comments? So this is not an action item. I don't see any other commissioner wanting to speak. So, all right, we'll move on then to, and thank you, Ms. Rose, for that.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item E, receive 2022-2023 rates, contract adjustment report, and we have Mr. Rarick to present. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to give a brief update that's also been shared with city staff regarding fiscal year 22-23 service level agreement and rates, as well as contract revisions to the wraparound 5-year agreement for services that took place as the result of some substantive changes that were put through on our county ordinance 4587 back in fall of 2021. The major substantive changes, although a comprehensive set of revisions were made to the county ordinance, in particular, potentially dangerous dog and vicious dog, as well as a sunset to our animal nuisance hearing process, and as well as bringing forth the barking dog citation portion, created the obligation that we make changes not only to the annual service level request, but to implement those into that wraparound service agreement. The existing term for service of the 5-year animal service agreement was through 24-25, fiscal year 24-25, and started fiscal year 2020-21, again, a 5-year duration basis. And city staff have received the timeline of events for this, the contract review and submission process for this year that went out in late 2021 to city staff. And we're not looking to make any substantive changes to the agreement terms, the financial terms for the wraparound agreement, but we did incorporate again, some of these other operational aspects into that agreement. Let's see here. In regard to service level agreement, we do have a proposed change. It has not been adopted by the County Board of Supervisors under rates and fees for the next fiscal year. But the only major substantive change that we did make to the rates and fee component was our field services rate changing from $90 an hour to $100 an hour. We did not make any changes to the license rates charged to constituents for their animal licensing, nor are processing fees associated with licenses charged to the cities. This process, again, started with me sending this out in late January, and will conclude once we do have a final deadline of June 15th, 2022, to have fully executed agreements by both the county and cities, which would include the service level request, and again, the revisions to this wraparound agreement for services. And with that, I'm happy to answer any other questions. But again, city staff have been informed and received the documentation. And we've also reached out to city attorneys and city managers, making sure that they're aware of the changes to the ordinance. Again, although that process has gone on for quite some time, we wanted to make sure that everyone is prepared for those changes, as some of those services and ordinances will sunset at the end of this fiscal year in June 30th, 2022. But with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Gama has a question.
Go ahead.
Commissioner Gama? You muted.
Okay, I got it. It was having trouble on. Have the rates for 2022, 23 been provided to the city managers?
The rates were not provided to the city managers. Our process on an annual basis is that we afford them to the city staff, and the city staff then communicate that through their internal process. So from our list of contacts and in our meetings that we hold, typically 2 weeks before our commission meetings with city staff, they're also briefed on that and afforded that.
Okay, because I'm just trying, I know that we're beginning to start looking towards our new budget year, and just want to know when those new rates will be presented, if they haven't already.
Again, we typically share those with your city staff, and so they would have that. I'm happy to send the communication directly to you if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be.
How about sending it to all of us, every city? Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem at all. It includes the agreements, the revisions, as well as the tentative timeline for the whole contract review process. But we're happy to share that communication.
I think that would be a good idea. Share with the commissioners.
Thank you.
Other commissioners, questions, comments? I don't see any hands up. Well, if there are no questions, Mr. Zaragoza, do you have a question?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's proceed then to the next item, which is, I believe, the director's report. Correct?
Yes, thank you so much. You have a copy of my report in your packet. I did try and keep this brief because I know that we had several items on the agenda today. The first item is just kind of an update for us where we are with the COVID-19 restrictions. As you're aware, the county in early part of January went back to an appointment-based only model for services. So we implemented that, I believe it was January 4th. At that time, we had temporarily closed our CME facility, and that really was due to operational need. We had many staff, unfortunately, who were out sick. and some DSWs, but we have reopened the CME shelter. We are accepting on a limited basis some strays from there, especially from the animal control officers and Fillmore. I'm sorry, Fillmore and Moore Park as needed. And we are doing some adoptions from there. We have a small number of animals there at that time. And we reverted to adoption appointment-based services in Camarillo as well. We're still operating under that model, and we are providing all services except in-person licensing. We are really encouraging people again to utilize the online licensing system, as well as mail, as well as we have a drop box for that. We, as I know everyone sitting around this Brady Bunch box right now, is hoping we're going to get this opened up pretty quickly. So as soon as the county gives us the go ahead to start doing in-person services again, we will reopen. We're fully prepared to do that. The veterinarian position, I am happy to report, I think I'd reported last time that we were recruiting for our managing veterinarian position, and we have filled that. Dr. Britz, who had been an associate veterinarian with us, has been promoted to the managing vet position. That was effective actually this week. So we're thrilled that Dr. Britz is stepping into that role for us. She brings many years of experience working with us here in shelter medicine, as well as many years prior to that. So we're thrilled that she will be taking the leadership role in our vet office. With that, we will now be recruiting for an open veterinarian position. So I believe that's getting posted this week. So we're really excited about that. And then the last, just the, Chair Ramirez, you had asked earlier, the Betty White Challenge. I wanted to spend a little time and talk about how this was truly an unexpected, amazing opportunity for us. Unfortunately, due to the passing of Betty White, who was such a longtime animal advocate and supporter of animal services, you all may, I'm sure, are aware that there was an immediate grassroots viral effort to ask people to donate $5 to every local shelter. Donate $5 to your local shelter from everyone, and through that we would raise a lot of money in the animal welfare industry, which did happen. We were contacted through some relationships that I have with the Humane Society of the United States, whether we were interested in being part of a national publication for this. So of course we said yes, because who wouldn't? And we had the great fortune of having NBC Universal come to our facility, spend the day with us, and then that was broadcast on NBC Nightly News on Sunday night. Betty White died. Betty White's birthday was the 17th, and so that was recognized as the Betty White Day. That weekend, we had gone ahead and held a fee-waived adoption celebration, as well as the opportunity for people to donate. I will tell you that we anticipated we would maybe raise about $10,000, and when we surpassed 50,000, we were truly amazed. I really do want to give a huge shout out to Randy Friedman, who really was the person, boots on the ground, who put this together. He was the contact, the liaison with NBC, did all of the work. And honestly, it was a matter of a few days. This was not a long-term project, obviously, that we had been planning. So we were thrilled to be part of it. After the fact, we got additional recognition. We were recognized in People Magazine, their online edition, as one of the top 10 shelters in the country to raise the highest dollar amount under this national event. So we are thrilled that we were able to do that. Yeah, some people have said, you're going to do it again next year. I don't know how that works. I don't know if the national community is going to want to recognize this as after the fact. We got additional recognition. We were recognized in People Magazine, their online edition, as one of the top 10 shelters in the country.
Yeah, it might be.
What's happening?
It might be, if you used YouTube, you might be watching it streamed as well, and it may be unmuted on your end.
I'm not on YouTube. I don't even know how to go to YouTube.
I don't know if the
I don't know what's
national
going on here.
community is going to want to recognize this as.
Carmen Ramirez, I think, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Chair Ramirez.
Having to listen to me twice is never a good thing. So I was just saying, there's been the conversation, are we going to do this annually? I think we're going to somewhat take the lead from what the national temperature is going to be. Is this going to be an annual Betty White kind of recognition, or was this really a one-time in honor of her passing, what would have been her 100th birthday? So I think that time will tell with that. But I think what it did do is it showed, again, that level of commitment that people have to animal services. And we had, the bulk of donations that came in were local, but we also had quite a few donations that came from people outside of our area. We had a really far reach. And again, Randy did an amazing job of helping to get the word out there through our social media. So yeah, we're really happy. We raised some good money for that. And that's all I have on my report. Happy to answer any questions or any comments.
Commissioner or Chair Ramirez, may I ask a question?
Please.
Okay, thank you. Director Rose, I was very excited to see Randy and everybody on the NBC News. Happened to be watching it right when it came on, so it was very exciting. But my question is, and I'm not sure if anyone else knows, or if other people are already aware, but I'm not. The donations, did they go to our foundation?
Yes.
Okay, so that brings a point up. Is it possible for us to get a report on our foundation, who the board members are, how they're interacting with us? I just think that would be something that the commissioners should be aware of. And especially since we're raising these large amounts, and we'll probably be using them for capital campaign for our new shelter.
I'm happy to provide that. I will say that I guess it was maybe it's almost a year ago. I think it was last May. Did a full presentation.
I thought I remembered something, but I wasn't quite sure.
So I'm happy. I'm happy to do two things. I'm happy to do another presentation at a next board meeting if that's what you all would like me to do. I'm happy to do that. The other thing I can also do is resend you the PowerPoint. There's not a whole lot of changes since I provided that presentation. We have one new board member who joined.
That would be fine for me. I don't know what anyone else wants. So. Is everyone else okay with her resending the PowerPoint?
I would be okay with that.
I'm good with that too.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Jackie. Appreciate it.
Sure. My pleasure. And if there are, after you receive that, if you have any questions, please feel free to just call me directly. Send me an email. And again, if at some point we want to do another presentation to update, I'm happy to do that. Our foundation is incredibly important to us, and they are just a wonderful group of volunteers who support us day in and day out. So I will send that out to you all. Chair Ramirez, your hand is up. Chair Ramirez, can you hear us?
She may have turned down her volume. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Can somebody, Carmen, can you? She doesn't hear us. Okay.
She texted. She says, "I cannot speak, unfortunately."
Okay.
She messaged so.
All right. Well, I don't have any other pieces for the director's report or any other comments or questions that I can answer regarding that. Seeing none, then I will go ahead and just take the reins for Chair Ramirez and see if are there any. I think we're at board comment. I need to go back to my agenda. Is that correct? Are we at board comment time?
That is correct.
Yes.
Jackie, we are at commissioner comments.
Thank you, Commissioner comments. Are there any other comments from any of the commissioners?
I don't have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner
Very well.
Zaragoza. Well, not seeing any other Commissioner Gama.
Yes, I just wanted to repeat my enthusiasm and passion for getting the public involved in knowing and feeling and being a part of what Animal Services does in Ventura County. Every Thursday I go on the radio and talk about our Wainimi Beach cleanup. And today we spent a considerable amount of time talking about Animal Services in Ventura County. And it just lights up the phones. People get excited. People want to be involved. They want to know that we're doing good for our animals. And I think hearing the Betty White results just confirms that. And so I strongly believe that raising funds for the new shelter, getting people involved is a winning issue for our organization. And I know that we can't expect to raise all the funds necessary to build a shelter, but I do believe that we could get people engaged and a part of, and I'm just super excited to know that we're going in that direction. And I just want to see as many people from the public getting involved as possible. And I'd just like to brainstorm and come up with different ideas to do that. I've been watching the Puppy Bowl last night, and you know, it's amazing how many rescue dogs are a part of the Puppy Bowl. And so if you haven't seen that, it's definitely going to motivate you and get you excited about what we're trying to do here. And I think this year's Puppy Bowl is going to be the most watched in its 18-year history. And so if you get a chance, check it out. It's pretty cool, and it should get us all excited to do what we're trying to do here. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gama. I too love the Puppy Bowl. We watch it every year. It's like one of the favorite things. And one of my shelters, we once did a kitten bowl, which was also a whole lot of fun. So I echo your sentiments. I thank you for that. I promise you, we will be engaging the community every single way that we can think of. This is really an exciting time for Animal Services, and it's something that we want to celebrate with the community. This is not just about building a building. This really is about helping our community take that next step to progressive animal care, and how we support our pet owners and our community and our veterinarians and everyone who touches animals and is touched by animals every day. So we will be leading a charge, carrying banners and party hats, and really celebrating this and encouraging people to get excited with this project. So thank you so much. And I think we're going to, I think we can name you to help us lead that charge as we put together some work groups and task groups to move forward. So thank you for that. And yes, watch the Puppy Bowl. It's a lot of fun. Any other comments from anyone? All right, well, not hearing any, I think we can go ahead and entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Thank you. And that was Commissioner Kavanaugh for a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second, Santangelo.
Thank you very much. All right, well, I guess we need to take a vote on that, correct, Sandra?
That is correct.
Okay, if you could do that, please.
Carmen Ramirez. John Zaragoza,
Yes.
Susan Santangelo,
Yes.
Stephen Gama,
Yes.
Dee Dee Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Jeanette Sanchez Palacios,
Yes.
Diane McCall,
Yes.
Chris Enegren,
Yes.
and Susan Francina.
Hi, everybody. I had some amazing computer problem that I don't know what happened here, but I'm back and I don't know what you just voted on. I couldn't hear.
That was the adjournment, Chair Ramirez.
Right.
All right. I'm glad you were able to do that without me. So thanks, everybody. Take good care.
Bye, everyone. We will
Bye.
see you all soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.